Angelified, Jimmy Beam and Bly. Reaching highest where we reach, yo, as high as to the stars. Beats in the villain Jeep, vibrating other cars. Whose world is this? Yo, we say the world is ours. So we grow beards, no fear. Photos so clear, take another shot, so to speak. Yeah, more beer. BV worldwide, put a fist to the sky. Cheers, cheers, New Year's, dope rhyme, good vibes. My crew speaks power, Chi-Town bleeds power. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth in the final hour. Respect, loyalty, family, charity speaks power. Bearded Villains, brotherhood speaks honor. Forwards and onwards, stay villain to the end. I will never shave again because my beard is not a trend. I represent excellence, leadership, and never follow. I'm a BBC member, yo, lieutenant of Chicago.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. It's BV, 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 it's BV. Yo, all I see.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9. I'm excited. Episode 99 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. We are finally here, guys. Down to the last one before we kick off to 100. Episode 99. Time has flown by these last 10 episodes. Actually, it's seemingly creeped along a little bit as we were looking forward to 100, but we're here, man. We're here. Next week is episode 100. I can't wait to explain to you guys some of the fun stuff that we got planned for next week, and we've got some partners stepping up, jumped in this past week and said, "Hey, I want to be a part of this celebration." And I know there's more coming on down the road. It's gonna be a big episode next week. I hope everybody's got some time blocked out in their Friday night schedule for next week, because remember, it's going to be the last Friday night for a while. We're switching it to Thursday night. If I can speak, we're switching it to Thursday night, starting with episode 101. But here we are, Friday night, live on the YouTube, The Heart of a Villain, episode 99. Guys, thanks so much for being here tonight on this episode. Boys, we are going to have, boys and girls, I guess, we are going to be speaking with Morgan who's the captain and board member from Bearded Villains, Louisiana. He's going to be telling us a little bit about what's going on down there with the hurricane-ravaged areas, what we can do to help out. There's some really cool things that are set up right now for us to be able to help out. I know many of you already have taken advantage of that, so that's really great to hear. We are going to also hear for the first time, well, you guys are going to hear for the very first time, the new theme song for the podcast, written specifically for the podcast. And then we're going to be also talking with Jelly, who was, well, fundamental in making said song complete. We're going to be talking with him about the process, the song. We're going to be talking with him about BVC, all sorts of fun stuff. We're going to be talking about what's going to be happening next week for episode 100. So it's a chock full episode, guys, and I thank you guys so much for being here. Wow. The comments section has been crazy. I love to see that. And what's funny is I noticed that Puzzle Man, of course, Hector jumps in and says, BP doesn't know what to do with his hands, because you saw me over on Instagram live while the countdown was going, and I was sitting here talking, waving my hands around like a freaking magician. But yeah, when I get excited, you never know what the hands are going to be doing. So I do apologize to anybody who thought I was having a little fit there. Rob, thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening in your time zone. Mr. Parsons is here. He was here on both platforms while I went on to Instagram Live. Nick is in the house as well. Thank you so much, Nick, for being here. The Lakeshore Villains, we know that that's Mars. He just forgot to flip the switch on his account. Jay, Jay, look who is home. He had to say, we have to give credit where credit's due, man. Look who is home on a Friday for a change. Yes, it's good to see you back. And of course, where Jay is, I saw Charissa in here as well. Mr. Lee, Tommy, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Bearded Irishman in the house. Mr. Maldonado from the Treasure Coast is here as well. Josh, it's your birthday today. I don't have a birthday song to play, otherwise I would. But hey, happy birthday, buddy. You don't want me to hear me sing right now, so I'll just say happy birthday, and everybody else, wish him a happy birthday. I know many people already have chimed in and said happy birthday to him so far. Tim, thanks for being here. Never fear, for he is here. Yes, we were wondering. Hector's here, of course, wishing a happy birthday and all. As I scroll through here, Mr. Nash with the strong arms. Yes, yes. Mr. Ramsey, wishing everybody a pleasant evening. Red, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Red is here from the SOMD. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I love it when the people that aren't here, at least that we can see as a weekly basis, come in for the good times. For the good times. We're gonna have a good time tonight, guys. At least, heck, I know I am. So I hope I can entertain you guys and live up to it while we can. Gator, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I saw you over here on the IG as well. The legend that is Gator. And I love seeing Gator's morning wrap ups for us to get us going in the morning. I don't identify with them all the time, but boy, every once in a while, you get one of those that, and that's what he needs it. It doesn't need to be for everybody every morning, but every once in a while, one of those hits you just square in the chest, right? And you love to see it. It makes your day. Slap Happy is in the house. How are you doing, buddy? Thank you guys so much for being here. You could do anything else on a Friday night, and I know that. So I can't say thanks enough for being here. Puzzle Man says, "What's a Slappy Happy?" Well, hey, if you're this old in your life right now and you don't know what a Slappy Happy is, then I'd say we have problems. I'd say we have some problems. Guys, if this is your first time here, and there are a few of you, and I know there's probably some people out there that are not, that are here for the first time that I can't see. So if that's the case, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell notification thingy, because you'll get all the notifications when new videos go live, and we've always got something going on. But yeah, it's always good to see you guys. Love seeing you here subscribed. This is also where you're going to get notifications on the documentary film as things continue forward on that. Anything that's BV related, all that good stuff. So let's slide into our, as you know, I like to try and get the chapter merch stuff out of the way. And we got some stuff. We got some good chapter merch going on right now. So let me kick off a little bit of music here, and just a little background music, and we'll talk some merch, guys. We'll talk some merch. If for some reason I do not have you on the merch list here, if I please send me a message, and I do apologize if for some reason I've somehow erased your merch or forgotten about it or didn't include that this week. I try to do the best I can in preparation for the weekly show to make sure I have everybody's stuff. If for some reason you have something cool, especially if you have something that's really not just specific to the chapter, raising money for the chapter, but if it's charity related, especially, I want to make sure I get it on there so we can raise as much money for you guys as we can. So, first thing I've got on my list, do not forget Lakeshore Villains. Lakeshore Villains at lakeshorevillains.com for only $10. They have these X Factor patches. They just put them out. They just put them out last week. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you've not paid attention to what X Factor patches normally look like, these are some of the brightest, boldest, coolest looking X Factor patches that are out there. And it's not often that you see an X Factor patch. That's kind of why I've been against putting them together for a while. Just because how cool can an X Factor be? Well, right there. That tells you. Very cool stuff. They still got some of those available. So lakeshorevillains.com for $10, the Lakeshore Boys with their X Factor patch. Very cool. Also, we're going to talk about this in just a few minutes, but Morgan is going to be talking to us about what's going on down in Louisiana. But there is a shirt. There is a shirt that they have put together, and it's a very cool shirt, very bold shirt. You can get it at LouisianaBeardedVillains.com. The price starts at $20.75 and goes up depending on your size. So I'm mentioning it now, but we're going to be mentioning it again when my interview rolls for when we're talking with Morgan. but I did want to get this out of the way so you're aware of it at least. Stay strong. Louisiana Villains always looking like a great. I mean, they do such good merch. So got to go out there and grab one of those. I grabbed one of those just the first night that I saw them go live. A must to add to the collection. Don't forget, this month we just kicked off the new month, and we have our next 2 patches in the Autism Patch Puzzle Collaboration Dealy Bobber. And this month we have Indiana BVIN with their awesome Chief logo. It's a blue puzzle piece. The Bearded Villains of Indiana, it is available at bvin.bigcartel.com, bvin.bigcartel.com. And then also for $9, the same price, the Chesapeake Bay patch in full color. This is a really cool one. Now, pay attention. Don't get this confused, guys, because this was a little bit of a hiccup. The Chesapeake Bay guys are not selling this on their site, okay? Nova is helping them out. So I'm not sure what the explanation is for that, but we don't need it. All you need to know is that you can go out to the Nova.BigCartel, bvnova.bigcartel.com to get the Chesapeake Bay patch, all right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, if you missed out on the Nova patch last month, that's still available on the Nova site as well. Remember, all these patches are going to fit together in the end. They're $9 plus shipping, every one of them across the board. So don't forget, this month, Indiana at bvin.bigcartel.com, and then the Chesapeake Bay patch at bvnova.bigcartel.com. Very, very cool to see. Awesome stuff, guys. Very cool. All right. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, Hector, I had to do it. It confused me at first as well. So I needed to make sure I got that out there, so understood. The Chesapeake Bay patch is available on the Nova site. All right, Rainside. Those guys up there in West Washington, they're sometimes they're kind of quiet, right? On merch. We love their patches, we love their logo, but they're kind of quiet up there sometimes, it seems like. We don't hear much from them on merch. Well, here's a chance right here. 3 different variations of their awesome logo shirt. Rainside Villains. Very, very cool. $25 to $27 per shirt. You get to pick the color. It looks like the logos are pretty much the same all the way across the board. Heck, buy all 3. It's a rainbow of flavors, right? Rainside Villains. Very cool stuff. Yeah, pick those things up. Pick that thing up for sure. They're available at bvwwa.bigcartel.com. bvwwa at bigcartel.com. All right. The next thing I've got for you has a date on it, finally. Yes, that's right. I don't know if I have any super exciting music that I can share. Let's see here. Nope, I sure don't. Let's see. You know what I do? Let's try this. Let's switch it over. All right. All right, now, the patch that will be available this week, this upcoming week, for the first time. We've talked about it. I've shown you pictures about it. I've teased you. It will be available on the 7th. All right. It will be available on the 7th. The Heart of a Villain 100th episode limited edition numbered patch. It will be available for $15 on sale the 7th at noon Central. Noon Central time here in the U.S. Tried to set that time up so that anybody that's working, maybe it's your lunchtime. If you're home early because you got to work midnight shift, maybe you can get up and it'll be a decent hour for you to get up if you want to grab one of those. If you're over in the UK, then you can enjoy it as well. Let's kick that back off again. But yeah, so the 100th episode, only 100 of these things made, limited, and they will be numbered. They will come with a card. The card will have a special message from me on it as well, and then they will also indicate the number of the patch that you have, or patches if you get more than one. I will say the patches are just a tick up more. They're $15. I think my previous ones were, They were only 12, but this is a little bit bigger deal because the money from this is going to go to upgrading some of the equipment here in the studio, and also to ensure some of the other costs are taken care of for the film that I need to take care of. So this is the patch right here. Hopefully you can see it. It is metallic gold. It is a metallic gold shimmering in the light. Very, very cool stuff. I love this thing. But only 100 will be available. So hopefully you guys can get on that. And noon central on the 7th. If you have any questions, hit me up. They will be available through the podcast page, through the podcast chapter, or through the podcast merch page, which you all know. But you know what? Just in case you weren't sure, theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. Theheartofavillain.simplecast.com is where you can get it. I'll also make sure I put that out there a little bit later as well. All right. Guys, that's the merch so far that I've got. That's the merch that I've got right now. Let me make sure and catch up on some notes here and see if anybody... Lakeshore says, take my money. Mars, all right, buddy. I'll take as much as you want. So let's get on with it now. I want to bring in my first guest from this week, episode 99. My first guest is going to be Morgan. Now, as many of you know, unless you've been sleeping under a log, the area down around Louisiana, the Gulf Coast area, was stricken with a hurricane, Ida, several days back. And although it didn't get the press that we remember from like a Katrina or anything, there was still a lot of damage. And as you'll hear Morgan speak of, it was incredibly powerful. So things didn't go wrong to the extent that they did for Katrina, which is, thank God. But there are a lot of people affected. And there are a lot of people that right now, as you're listening to me speak, are still without power. So, and not only that, forget power. There's people without homes. Okay, so it's a very real thing. So let's just kind of hone it in a little bit. Be thankful for where you are, where you're living, and what you have over your head right now, because there's people out there right now that a week ago they had it, and now they're not living in their homes, if they even have them. So I want to play for you my video, my interview with Morgan, talking about the hurricane relief effort that's going on, and also what we can do as villains to help out his chapter, his brothers, and we'll take it from there. Today I'm speaking with Morgan from Bearded Villains, Louisiana. As most of us know, I hope everybody by now knows, there was a little hurricane that came rolling through in the last several days down in Louisiana, and thousands of people were impacted by this thing. And I think it had more of an impact than we could have imagined based on what we knew in the short time that it rolled through. But I wanted to get Morgan on and talk to us a little bit about what's going on down in Louisiana, the damage, and look forward to the future. Let's see what we can do to help things out. So, Morgan, welcome, and thank you very much for taking a few minutes out to talk to me.
No, thanks for having me, man.
So usually we're talking specifically about BV stuff, but tonight it's a little different. Homes have been damaged, lives have been messed with in a real way down there. What was it like? Because I know you shared pictures on Instagram of you kind of, working in the environment of everybody else kind of taking off out of town, and you stayed there the whole time. What was it like for you? I know you've seen a few hurricanes before, but what was this one like?
Yeah. I mean, anytime we really get over category 3, that's when you start people start paying attention. We get a little nervous a little bit. You're not freaking out, but we're kind of like, all right, it's time to have a plan.
Sure.
It was bad. Luckily my area before it got to land, like it swerved to the east a little bit more. It took us out of the danger zone. We just had, some bad wind and rain, but nothing compared to what the guys in, Homa and New Orleans got to, or honestly their parishes in general, Jefferson and Terrebonne and everything. Everybody, is safe So I mean that's the most important thing for us. But a lot of our guys did take a lot of damage. There's a couple guys who lost their homes and whatnot. Um, there's really they kind of get an answer when they might have power, but it's been pretty rough. So our main focus right now, we've been trying to fill up as much gas cans as we can. Um, Try to find them generators. You know, if we can't borrow one from somebody, we go buy one to make sure that, they have some kind of livable conditions while trying to get their home back and, back together. But it's been pretty crazy. But I'm thankful for the guys we got. We're coming together, working the best way we can. Not, I mean, we have phone and power lines down and whatnot. So some of the guys, they've been having to go to like libraries that have built-in generators out there, and they try to log on to Instagram and whatnot, or Facebook, and try to give us some kind of update to what's going on, what is if they need anything and whatnot. So it's been pretty rough, man, but it's not something we're totally not used to. It just, you kind of hope you never have to deal with another one.
Yeah, but I mean, you say not used to, but how do you really ever get used to that? Because this isn't, I mean, here in the Midwest, of course, up in Indiana where I'm at, we get storms that roll through, and we get upset when we're without power for 2 or 3 days because of a power, if we didn't have a generator or something like that. But this is, I mean, you're talking about in some cases, like you said, homes are destroyed. I mean, this is not just your power's out for a few days, inconvenience, maybe go somewhere else to a friend's house and come back and wait for your power to get turned back on. We've got some brothers, you said that their homes, they're going to need a new home.
Yeah.
Man.
Like Drew, for instance, he lost his trailer. He lost his trailer and whatnot. So he still says it's partial livable, but it really is destroyed. Like, so we're tarping this stuff up. That's one of the things that we've been gathering supplies. We've been having like runners back and forth to try to do as much as we can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, run as much as we can to try to get guys keep going. We for the most part, most of it stacked at my house.
When you, I mean, it's a different animal. It's a different world. It's not just a regular storm that goes through, because your life is on hold for however long it takes. Then I assume jobs don't necessarily wait, so you try to you're trying to think while you're at work to keep your job so that you have resources to fix the home life. For all these guys, you're thinking about that while you're trying to think about this, and it's just it's a struggle, man. I can't even imagine the struggle that is.
It's really part of our culture, though, and it's one of the things that kind of make me proud to be from Louisiana. It's how everybody kind of puts aside all their stuff, and they come together to try to help their community. You'll see people, you know, that you never thought would be given, and they're trying to give you boxes of clothes, everything that try to have some kind of normalized life. Um, so I think pretty much businesses understand that too. If they can open up and have their workers there, they definitely try to accommodate. I've never really heard of anybody, Southern business that I mean Louisiana business that would be like, oh well, I know your house is destroyed, but you got to be here at work, 24/7. It really is a community that comes together.
Now, how long have you lived in Louisiana? Your whole life?
Oh yeah, no, my family born and raised here.
Okay, so then everything, it seems like, moving forward and probably going back through history now, it seems like because of everything that Katrina was, everything's going to be measured against Katrina, of course. It seems like. And for having lived through that several years ago, are there any big similarities to that, or was it just on a smaller scale just because of the where it hit and how it hit? Or are you seeing some similarities to what you saw before?
Well, there was a lot of factors that came in with Katrina. There was a whole problem with the levees and whatnot. This definitely was a bigger storm than Katrina, but it didn't hit New Orleans dead on. So it was a little different. Not to say that New Orleans didn't get hammered, they really did, but the situation was a little bit different.
Okay. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask that. I didn't realize that it was actually bigger than Katrina was, because I don't remember them saying it, in that way. But
No, I forgot what no, yeah, so this was the largest that hit Louisiana.
wow.
It was 7 miles shy of a Category 5.
It must be a special state, man. You guys just want to, you guys down there in Louisiana, forget about moving out. It's just rebuild and relive and hope for the next
Yeah,
one.
man. I think it's something, that really is, it's part of the culture and everything else is it's a very hardy group of people that, we don't give up. We just keep rebuilding. I mean, you kind of have to.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I know I can never leave. I mean, I'd go visit somewhere, but I don't think I could ever leave Louisiana. It's especially in times of need like this is when Louisiana shines. This is when, help thy neighbor and everything really just comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, let's talk then for a second, talking about love thy neighbor and ways to help out. I know that you guys were working on something for a little bit and now you've released it. Tell everybody who's listening what we can do to help you guys out, both, what all you guys have set up for us to do.
Yeah, so we came out with a shirt. It was actually my co-captain's design. That was something, that he came out to try to, keep a positive attitude, keep everybody strong. So we altered that a little bit more into a shirt design. We teamed up with Jeremiah, the captain of Kentucky, and his company Flesh and Blood gave us an awesome price to try to hurry up and get it out there. That really, a good bit of the money. I mean, the cost of the shirt, like it's most of that is all going to charity. Like we can't beat the price. Brothers
Yeah.
helping brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're not a charity as far as a nonprofit in the charity aspect. We're a nonprofit social club. So we can still take monetary donations or gifts, but we can't give any tax kind of credits or that type of stuff. But we do have our chapter PayPal. It goes straight to our bank account, and that's it's where we just keep on buying everything. BV Louisiana at gmail.com.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask you that, but you brought it up because I have heard a couple people ask about that. What's the difference? I wonder, is that state to state, or was that a federal thing that you guys chose to do to be listed as, rather than a charity, as a social club?
No, it's a federal thing.
Okay.
So as far as 501c7s go, it is basically the money you collect, like our dues and whatnot, that goes to the betterment of our members themselves. So a lot of times for us, we take that money and I try to, if they have any kind of, hobbies or side project type of stuff that makes them more money or, help support their families, we try to invest in that, in the equipment or whatnot. And so we just keep trying to reinvest in our guys to, help them live better lives and provide for their families. So that type of money is not taxable.
Okay.
But most of our charities over the years, we've always had a representative that we're teamed up with. Most of our stuff has always been veterans based. So we would have people from the veteran charities come out, swipe cards, take the money. And it just makes everything so much easier where we don't actually have to deal with a lot of people's money. We pretty much just deal with our own,
Gotcha. Well, that's a very, very specific difference, but it's huge in the way that you guys run your chapter. So it's kind of unique. Something probably I'm venturing a guess that when guys start to hear about that, they're probably wondering, why didn't we do the 501c7 instead of the C3 too? that may be something for guys to ask themselves about.
It really is. It all, like when we found this years ago, and we spoke about this in the captain chat, it all depends on how you do your charity. If you're 100% like collecting money from the public and having to keep like those records like spot on because the government watches you big time when you're that, then yeah, go ahead. Write your tax credits, do all, your 501c3. But if majority of all your charity has been directly money given to the charity that you're teamed with, then why not be a social club that, you could take all that money that you get as a chapter, dues and whatnot, and the money I mean, you can put on events that raise money too. All that goes into basically providing things for your chapter and making it grow, stuff like that. It's less paperwork. I mean, we turn in our annual reports and that's about it, but all the money is non-taxable that we collect from ourselves.
Okay, where were you 9 months ago when I was looking into this myself?
No, dude, I've been saying the same thing for, we've been
I just
a
never remember hearing
nonprofit
anything.
since
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a big note in the captain chat and everything, man.
So as far as the way that you guys take in funds, the biggest difference is that for a 501c3, that the way that most chapters are going to be run, if a chapter takes in money as a donation, they can give that person the write off, versus you're not able to do that, but it also has to do with what in turn you can do with your money versus what they can do for their money.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were over the 100,000 mark for all our years of doing charity work. And I've only had to touch like 5 grand of that. And that's because the person that was supposed to come to the event was sick. But it just seems so much cleaner. You never have to worry about money getting lost or whatnot. It's just a clean thing. But yeah, so most of the time when you're 501c3, like your nonprofit, that money has to go 100% out. Like, I mean, you could pay if you had a staff, you can do stuff like that, operating costs and whatnot. But for us, man, like we find it better that we can reinvest the way we want to, and we don't. It's not so much as scrutinized. It's not that anything's wrong. It's dude. At the end of the year, this is all we do. All this stuff for free. So extra
Yeah.
paperwork, extra headache.
Hey, I love it. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to talk about it for a minute, because I know there's some people out there that they were curious about the differences. So we've got a shirt that's going out right now, and it's on a pre-sale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That's gonna be, what is it, for 3 weeks?
at least. So we're trying to have at least get them out by the October 20th. If we can get it out sooner, we definitely will. Um, like say our normal way of shipping in-house, because we have a website that we 100% support a local company, and we let them accept all the money and they make everything. So this is the first time we're actually selling something ourselves to
Okay,
the public, which people notice it's a little bit different when you go buy the shirt. We ask your chapter affiliation, everything else, because that is part of our nonprofit paperwork. We have to keep logs of what we sell to our members.
sure.
Everybody at BV is actually part of our club.
Okay,
People outside of that, we're able to. We do have some wiggle rooms in our paperwork where we can accept a certain amount of a percentage of our income from the public.
mhm,
So that's why we have it like that, so we can actually document, because we don't have to really, but we document a lot of stuff.
sure.
So it's always good if something comes up, then we can turn around to the IRS like, no, like this is all accounted for. This member came from here, or this was a non-affiliated person. Everything balances out.
Yeah, makes sense to me, man. That's awesome.
Hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get it up on the screen. So for the time being, I'm just going to make sure it's a weekly event that we post this, and that we're still going to be out there. So for at least 3 weeks, this shirt's going to be out there. And then if anybody wants to make specific monetary donations to you guys, that would just shoot right through your PayPal, right?
Yeah, it's a chapter PayPal. It's linked to our bank account. I forgot about the shirts too. So we're after the initial pre-order's done, we're actually going to buy a large amount of shirts ourselves as a chapter,
Okay, great.
and we're going to leave those up on the site. That way we can, continue selling it, after even that way people can get their stuff, but yet we can still keep offering the shirt to try to collect money for the
Yeah.
relief fund.
Heck yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, to actually have a relief fund would probably be something for you guys that would be neat for you to have, uh, living down there just in
It's
case.
It we've actually, when we had our annual meeting last year and stuff like that, we were starting to basically allocate our budget into having one, and we didn't think we were going to need one this soon, but it's something that we're definitely always going to have, not just for our members, but try to have the money allocated for situations like this. Because I
Yeah.
mean, in the beginning, we actually voted and we budgeted $3,000 out of our own banks to try to get this stuff up and running. But then, then everybody started chipping in and everything else, and it worked out great. So it's not all just coming out, depleting the chapter fund to try to make sure everybody has the initial things they need to keep on going.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I love the way that you guys come together. I know you're very proud of your chapter in your home state, as is everybody else that's down there. I don't ever hear anybody that's from Louisiana, not talk very proudly about being from Louisiana. So it's awesome. It's awesome to see you guys coming, getting behind each other, and and doing what you need to do. If anybody has any questions, can they just go ahead and go directly through your Instagram page at the chapter if they have any questions about what more they might be able to do, if they want to see if there's anything more that they can do other than just the PayPal donation or the shirt?
Yeah, no, definitely hit me up. I mean, I really do try to reply as quick as I can, but I'm pretty much the main one that gets the messages. I
Okay.
do most of my guys that works our media team were New Orleans guys, so we're kind of short staffed on the replies, but we do try to timely try to get back to everybody because I know everybody just wants to help.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, we now it's, situations like this taught us that we need other things in place to try to make sure that, we always can stay connected with communities and whatnot when they're trying to offer help and everything. So it was definitely, you know, as much as we like to say we're, experienced in hurricanes, now we have other things that we have to develop to try to make sure we do even better next time around.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I'm glad there's guys out there willing to do the stuff like you guys are. So that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking a few minutes with me. I know this is busy time for you with just life in general, but then now with everything you got going with the chapter and the hurricane relief, you're busy, busy, busy. So I'll let you get back to life. Hopefully you can get back and enjoy a little bit of family time tonight. But thanks
Oh yeah,
again.
no, we have family here too from New Orleans that so we're sending stuff over. We're helping out family that are refugees. Like it's nonstop, man. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's nothing we would ever change. To be able to help our community and family.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, man. Well, thanks so much. And I will talk to you soon. If anybody needs anything, I'll direct them right to you. And for the next few weeks, I'll be making sure we get this up on the podcast and the live stream so everybody can see. Get out there and get those shirts. You guys have already sold a good sum of them. I've seen. So
Yeah.
let's keep that
Last time
up.
I checked, I think last time I checked the numbers, it was like 211 at least, and that was last night. So
Yeah, awesome. Well, I can't. Hopefully, we get a little bump in you after the live stream here for you too.
yeah, appreciate it, bro.
All right. Well, hey, take care. Have a great night. Stay safe and hug everybody.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, guys. How cool is that dude, man? How cool is that? First off, the fact that he makes himself accessible to so many in the Bearded Villain community on a daily, and he, outside of working on a regular job, everything he normally does, for BV. On top of that, then to be a point contact for his chapter and all of his men down there for his chapter within the circumstances that are currently going on with the hurricane. I know he was worried that he wasn't making much sense because he's had an exhausting week when I reached out to him and was like, hey, can we talk for a little bit? So I can't thank you enough, Morgan, for spending some time. I know it has been a rough week for you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. And I know you're taking it, but you're doing a great job down there. So I want to make sure that I did include, once again, I don't have this written up, but I put it on the screen earlier. BV Louisiana at paypal.com. If you would like to donate funds, specifically funds, money, resources, to help out with their efforts to rebuild and what they're doing down there, BV Louisiana at paypal.com is their PayPal address for you to be able to do that. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to, as he indicated there, and we talked about it off the air a little bit. There's some brothers from Georgia, Mississippi, from the ENC that are making arrangements to help out in a very real way as well. So a special thanks needs to also go out to those guys. And I know that there's others that are probably trying to make the same arrangements. So this is what we do. This is one of the coolest parts about this BV brotherhood, man, is that we step up and we do what needs to be done in times of need. So it's just such a very, very cool thing to see. So keep everybody down there in the Gulf Coast area in your thoughts and prayers. If you have any questions, if you're having any difficulties getting the shirt set up or anything like that, reach out to Morgan. Please be patient with him because, as you can imagine, he's probably getting inundated over the last several days with comments and questions. So he's doing what he can, but appreciate that. Okay, guys, I don't really have, let's see, do I have any kind of fun sound effect drum roll? There we go. All right. And I didn't time that out very well at all. But it is time. It is time now. My terrible drum set here. It is time for the world premiere of the new song, The Heart of a Villain. Are we ready for it? Are we ready for it? It's only a minute and a half long. It's not a minute and 23 seconds long, I think. It's not a full-on song like One Brotherhood, One Ship was, but it's not meant to be. This was meant to be, the basic premise of this was I approached Jelly from the BVC one day, about a year ago, and I said I would really love to have a theme song. I really appreciate him allowing me to use Obos, One Brotherhood, One Ship, as an intro, outro song for the podcast. He graciously, immediately when I asked him, said, yeah, use it, man, use it. When I asked him way back when. And he was gracious enough to do that. And the other brothers as well that were involved in that had no problem either. But I wanted to see if I could have a theme song. And I wanted it in the style of music that I don't write. So I reached out to Jelly. It's taken us some time, back and forth, and some reminders from me. Hey, can we get this done? But it's happened, and it is here. And I love the fact that it's not super complex, but there's some complexity to it. I love the fact that it's very easy to remember, and it will stick you in your ear, and it will stay there in your ear, and I love that part of it. So from this point forward, at episode 100, premiering next week on episode 100, this will be the theme song rather than Obos to bring us into the start of the podcast. This will also be the song that kicks us off into the sunset at the end of each podcast, I believe. We'll see. I might still use Obos for that. We'll see. However, this is the new theme song. I hope you guys enjoy it. New theme song for The Heart of a Villain.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro, lights, camera, action. Let's go. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart, it's the heart.
All right, yeah, it's the heart of a villain. The heart of a villain. I love that, and it speaks so true to what the podcast is about. And he took some ideas I had, he took some words that I threw at him, and he made it happen. So I love it. So I'm just going to kick right in to my interview now with Jelly, guys. I had to represent for the BVC tonight. We had a great weekend last weekend at their end of summer cookout that they have. It's an annual event. We had some brothers from out of state, from far, far away. We had some bros from representing from Florida, from Puerto Rico that were there. Always a great time. So if you can ever make one of their events up in Chicago, please do. But this is their 6th anniversary, or 7th or 6th. Let me read it right. 6th, 6th anniversary shirt. I love showing off their merch whenever I can. So BVC, Jelly, thanks so much. And I want to share my interview now with Mr. Jelly. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last, I would say maybe 97 episodes, maybe 98 episodes, my next guest has been a very serious part, albeit behind the scenes, of my podcast. For 97, 98 episodes, I think the first 2 episodes were the only 2 that did not include the song you are hearing now. That's right, Obo's One Brotherhood, One Ship, the awesome song that was created by 3 of our brothers and performed so awesomely live out in LA. This song was allowed, I was allowed rather, to have access to this song for the podcast after like episode 2 or 3. And ever since then, it has entered and exited with the podcast every week. Well, guys, this ends this week. As you know, episode 99 is the final episode where this song is used as the intro, outro. And it's all because of my next guest. So let's switch it up now. His new song. The new song.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. And
Help me welcome Shelly.
That's your new song.
There it is. There it is. Jelly, man, how you doing?
Good, man. It's funny that you said you played that song for 90-something times, man. You should have found someone cooler than me, man. That song isn't that great, man.
Hey, you know what? You're close, so...
you know when it was great in L.A.? That's when it was great, on that stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like I told you earlier, man, now everyone's got to listen to me again for the next 98 episodes.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe we'll switch it up. We'll do an edit off, a slight edit to it maybe after 50 episodes. And
a remix or something.
Yeah, a remix of it or something like that. But, man, great to get you on here. I know we've talked before a handful of times on probably 2 or 3 different episodes during the podcast lifespan that we've had so far. I know during a coat drive somewhere in the first 20 episodes, I came down and we talked. And I know I had you and AM on. We were talking about some of the music you guys did. But now I get the chance to talk a little bit about the favor that you did for me, man, and getting this song going. I know I was on your case for a while there, and then just let you have it off the hook and just let you live life before I came back and said,
I'm glad you were on me about it, man. If you weren't on me, you'd still be asking me for it, maybe.
But hey, it's funny because when I have this idea in my head, hey, can you kind of, I'm looking for a theme song for the podcast that's specific to the podcast, and I kind of wanted to have this kind of a feel, and it's so hard for me to be able to describe that to you. But hey, I'm telling you what, you have a process, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But you nailed it, man. You got the words, you got the lyrics out that I think very, very succinctly talk about what the podcast is, and do it in a really, really cool vibe way, man. So I can't say thanks enough.
Dude, so honestly, that song, I had a bunch of different beats for, but that particular one, I was like, man, that one's been knocking forever. A lot of people wanted that one, but no one ever jumped on it. I'm like, man, it would be perfect if we did that. And then I remember hitting you up and asking you just what like vibe to go for, which I already knew. It's a podcast. I get it. It's Heart of a Villain. But like specific words. And once I had that, the ball was rolling. And then now that I got like Pro Tools and like recording software, I guess you could say, in my MPC one that I use, man, that just popped off really quick, man. So that song was really fun to make, and it probably took us months to talk about it, but it probably only took 45 minutes total, I'd say, not even, if you combine the beat and the lyrics to get that done. So that's cool, man. The irony.
Yeah, you're gonna mess up everybody's theory on your process then, because
yeah, dude,
they're gonna be like coming back to you. How long does it really take to make a song? I mean, come on.
Man, I love making beats. That's my favorite part. But the recording process, I'm not gonna lie to you, man, is a major pain in the ass, because did you get the volume right? Did you condense it? Did I do this ad lib the way I want? And I listened to it and I'm like, I think I suck. And then someone else is like, oh, it's dope. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should leave it like that. I like just making the beat and just chilling and partying and listening to the beats, man, and appreciating as opposed. Like I told you earlier, man, I need someone to just sit over here and just sit right there and just do all that work for me. And I can just stand and chill and do what I got to do and be creative and stuff, man.
Well,
But yeah, man, it was fun. That song was super fun.
What's it like though? I mean, do you do it? I mean, we've all seen the videos of, be it like a documentary or an actual movie where you see people in the recording studio and they're tapping in and tapping out, you know, of different tracks while the song comes on, and then they'll play part of a track, come
those
in, and
big
then they'll
mega
tap you back.
boards that like people sit in front of, and there's thousands of things.
Is it
So that's what's
similar
crazy
to what
now.
you do?
Yeah, well, I wish, man, I have I can do 1 billion tracks, but to be completely honest with you, man, not to give away too many like recipes, but
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, you know what I mean? I like to record it and do some backups, but I mean, after that, man, I'd rather not have too much thinking on it. I think some people like to add what's called like plugins and put in all kinds of reverbs and fades. I like to just get gritty, man. I mean, I'm fairly old. People don't like it when I say old. Let's just say I'm getting older in the hip hop sense of the word. And now I'm just kind of like, man, I don't have time to mess around. I'd rather just chill and make it and listen to it and be happy than just be like, oh man, let's make this sound better. And you know what? There's dudes I know now. You give them a couple $100, 100, maybe even less, or even nothing, and they'll do that stuff for you, which is fun. I got one guy, Bad Mood. Shout out to Bad Moods. That poor guy will sit here and we'll all chill and be partying or whatever. And I have to always tell him, I'm sorry, man, because I'm like, turn that louder, turn this lower. Well, I don't like take that. And the poor guy's sitting there while we're all woo, all running around doing whatever, doing anything except effort, and the poor guy will sit there. Speaking of shout outs, before I forget, Shyversity and Few Over Many represent Chicago style BBC, man. I didn't do that. I wanted to say that first.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Got to give the shout outs.
Of course.
But I mean, the process of actually when you record, when you sit down and record, you got the lyrics, you got the beat, you got the everything else. You know how you're going to do it. You've practiced it.
I used to always use a notebook.
Yeah.
Now I just go straight phone, which is great because my handwriting is pure trash. And I would always cross things off, and I would never remember what my own lyrics were. So I guess to answer your question, the beat will usually be done, and I just jump on my phone, and me and my guy Randy, aka Diesel, will be sitting. We make a lot of music, or AM will be here, or whoever, and someone will be like, "What's the concept?" And say someone just throws a word out like "heart" or "heart of a villain." In this case, that's where you just take it and be off and running right there again, or just rhyme whatever. But some people do them quicker. I like to be in and out, and not to cut you off, I like to get in and get out, man. I don't want to spend all day writing it.
Oh, sure. But do you find that when you're actually, once you hit record for the vocals part of it, do you try to record all the vocals at once, or do you recognize I can do a phrase at a time?
I've done that before. Me and most of my guys, me specifically, would like to just do it all the way through, because I notice when you punch in, sometimes it'll sound different. And also, like, again, man, I don't have the patience to sit there and, all right, let's make this sound better. It's just like, man, I just want to hear it. Record it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So all the way through, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it seems to me like if you're in that habit of punching in, punching out, and then you're like, okay, you're listening to it, and even if you're singing along with that verse that you know you're not going to go over, but you're going to go to the second verse, you're going to hit record for that verse.
That I would stop and do another track for.
Yeah, and it seems like it would be harder.
Would have its own track. Yeah, huh?
It seems like it would be harder to stay with the lyric that you already have written, because as you're going through it in your head, rather than if you're punching through it, you could be talking through it. You could almost talk yourself out of the lyric that you already wrote down because something else hit you.
That we'll see if you're freestyling. I'll always have it written down though. But this particular Heart of a Villain track, it's super short, but it's the hook, and if you listen to it, you can hear that my voice is still going because another track of me is now popping in, but it's still me saying Heart of a Villain.
Yep.
And side note, I played that for some people my guys who don't have beards, and they were like, man, we were going to write to that. Let's do that. I'm like, man, this beat's like a year or something old. It's gone now. Sorry. Like we used it.
It's gone.
And they were like, it's fire. And so I'm like, yeah, like it could have been yours. I showed it to you. When I got my new beat machine, that was basically one of the first ones I made. And I was real proud of that one, because I chopped up the samples a lot and put some super hard drums on it. Like I said, man, that one was fun to make.
Well, and I will say, kudos to you. There are certain things in this genre of music that I don't follow. Obviously, it's not generally speaking. I knew this is what I wanted it to be.
You knew more now than you did before you interviewed me in AM that day. We gave
exactly.
you a full-blown lesson, I think.
But here's the funny thing. I remember specifically telling you in a message, because you threw out some possible suspects for me of different beats, and I was like, I like this, but I specifically remember saying to you, no laser beams.
Oh hell yeah! Now that made me put the laser beams, and you know what? They're loud as hell at the beginning.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, man. I'm just like,
it gave it that little extra kick, man. See, I knew you would like it, and everyone says they don't like it until you hear it. It just gives it a little extra.
Yeah.
Flavor,
I'm glad
man.
I listened to you. I'm glad I listened to you.
One of my favorite producers, Alchemist, bro. If you listen to any of his beats, it's the same loop the whole time, which is similar to mine, and I love. He's my favorite. But pretty much every bar and every other so often, you'll hear a, but they're really low, and people are always like, "Man, this beat doesn't sound like just a loop." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is a loop actually. You just don't recognize it because there's so much other." Things from Saturn, and then like a helicopter, and then someone laughing, and then a tractor goes by. I mean, I'm exaggerating now, but the point is it gives it more oomph.
Yeah,
a little filler.
Yeah, those lasers at the beginning, man. I would never.
And a little Spanish singing at the beginning too. That's from a Spanish record, which I thought. No, an Asian. I'd have to tell. You know what? I would have to go back and check. But that girl singing at the beginning gives it a little funk too.
Yeah, oh, it's great. It's awesome,
That's
man.
fun.
I'm proud. I'm proud of it. I'm so thankful that you took the time out to do that for me. And I
apologize to everyone that has to listen to that now. I'm sorry, it's another jelly verse. It's dope now until you guys hear it 89 times.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
It'll be dope, man.
And then when we do the remix of it after episode 150, then hey, we're just gonna keep this train rolling, man.
We'll get Jimmy and Damon on there for sure, man, or somebody. We'll figure out something.
Yeah, or you can teach me how to do it between now and then, and we got.
I'll teach you how to rap, bro.
We got 40 weeks. Phones. Yeah, 40 weeks
breaking
before we start to break
finding
it down.
phones, man, or losing phones.
Losing phones. As you did once again.
Those dudes from Puerto Rico. Shout out to Elvin, man. He's like, "You got your phone on you?" And he would come and like flick my pocket and see if it was in my pocket. At one point, I did leave it by for like 10 seconds. That was a long 10 seconds.
And why was it that I just happened to be present at that time, too?
I swear to God. It was right at that hotel. It was chilling on that table in Miami. And I walked away for only maybe even 5 seconds.
Where's my phone?
And it was right there. My heart fell out of my ass, bro. I was like, you got to be kidding. Because if that happened again, that would have been, no one would know me for a song or photos or anything, bro. They would just say, that's that dumbass.
We'd have just said you're on your own this time. They tried to help you.
Yeah, dude, no one would have even cared. I would have just gone to T-Mobile back in Chicago and just got another phone.
Yeah, you'd have had to.
That's funny, man.
Well, that's awesome. But hey, let's talk for a second, because I've had you on here before, and we've never really talked about the spirit of what BV is. For anybody that doesn't know, obviously you
BVC.
are a member of BVC, and it's one of the closest knit, most charity-driven family chapters that are out there.
Agreed.
And it's always great to see. It's always so fun to go to your different events that you guys have, just to see that aspect of it. And just coming right off of your end of summer picnic this weekend.
Yeah, man.
We told the guys that had never been to a BVC event, pay attention.
How did they respond to that when you told them that?
I'm telling you, it blew some of them. A couple of them had already been to an earlier event that you guys had earlier in the year, but their response back then was multiplied by what the other guys that
they were probably like,
first
"Oh,
event
okay,
was
whatever."
too. They it's the same response you get anytime somebody comes to a BVC event the first time. They can't believe how welcome they are. They can't believe the feeling of family, and they can't believe.
That's what I was just going to say, man. The key word here is family. That's the reason why. Because if you're over here with us, the fact that you even came to something or bought a patch or a hat, or you put us in a picture, it's family. You're no longer just a brother or a sister or a friend or whatever. You are now a part of BVC's extended family. I mean, Goodfellas. I mean, that to me has always been the highest regard of all BBC family and the charity aspect. But that specific Goodfellas patch that's the one, man.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those weird things because we as adults, as you get older, it's that fear of high school all over again. You go into a place you're not familiar with, you see faces that you're not familiar with, and you wonder, are these people just going to be staring at me, wondering who the hell this
Right,
person
high
is? Why
school
are this
prom.
person there? Yeah. And when the guys see that that's not the case, and that they have people that they just walking right up to them and
Yeah, and hug
and
immediately.
hugging them, yeah, and hey, and then being told anything that's in one of these coolers, you have it, it's yours.
Right.
Take a drink, and it's just
The
such
amount
a
of
cool.
food that we had. Did you
Oh
see
my
all the leftover
God.
food that we had? There was like 3
Yeah.
weeks of
I don't know what I
burgers and
assume
brats
I
and
would
hot
hope that you guys
dogs.
are going to donate some of that because I can't even imagine you guys having enough. I mean, being
Man,
able
I
to eat all
grabbed a
that.
little for myself. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, we
Wow.
would donate a lot of it, of course, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, throughout the summer, throughout COVID, we still managed to do drop-offs, and I mean, we've done blood drives, but the homeless drives we went crazy on, man. I mean, the last one one was pure torrential downpour. That was unreal. I mean, we did them on super hot days. Yeah, man. And then the barbecue was up. I mean, those barbecues to me are like miniature world meats. It's just a little 1 day version of it, but it's the same vibe I get at a world meet, if you ask me.
Well, yeah, on a slightly smaller scale, and I only say slightly because there's still there's a few hundred people there, and
Right.
how cool is it that this was not a beard competition? This was not a huge event. It was an end of year
Right.
barbecue, but yet you still had people from multiple chapters and people as
Yeah.
far away from
Yeah, that
Florida
was
and
cool
Puerto
that
Rico
people
there.
were coming. Yeah, Michigan and Wisconsin. Yeah, Indiana, obviously.
But I mean, yeah, and then Florida and Puerto Rico. I mean,
Yeah, oh yeah, Puerto Rico. Yeah,
how
of course.
how many people are going to be
Phil was with me, duh.
making all those? Yeah, Phil was. I mean,
Phil was wearing jeans and a black shirt, and I was just sweating my ass off out there, man. It was so hot. I was burning up.
I would say the excuse is that he's a little guy, but you're a little guy too. So I don't know if I make
Yeah,
that.
going to the Sox Cubs game the night before and staying up with too late probably didn't help either. But whatever, I still let it blast, man. I'm glad Phil came. Yeah, and definitely that Joker came from PR, man. That was definitely dope. And that's another thing, man. I mean, Miami and Puerto Rico specifically, those two chapters are our counterparts, you could say. Like we're almost the same, and a lot of us have family in those spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I can name people from Florida that are from here. We have people in Puerto Rico that are from Chicago. A lot of them are from Chicago, or vice versa. Or some of us have even lived in Florida and Puerto Rico. Yeah, man. But I'm just the little Italian Irish guy that keeps making new songs and losing my phone, man. That's what I do, bro.
Well,
I'm so proud of our chapter, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Now that you're bringing all this up, it's really hitting home because I guess I've never heard it in this regard. But I mean, yeah, we kick ass. We just kick ass. We're BBC. It's the Hammers, bro. For real.
Yeah, there's a bubble that you get yourself into where you don't see it. You live it because it's your chapter. But
Jay Mendez, our captain, put it a good phrase. He said that we're just cut from a different cloth. I think he had said that in Miami, man. That so like I'm not saying that we want to walk into like a meet like in slow motion with like an explosion behind our back, but I feel like when we do walk into things, it's like, man, yeah, like there they are. They're wearing the same exact thing. Yeah. I know who that is. They came at the same time. When someone gets lost or someone maybe blah blah blah. I don't want to say lost. You know what I mean? Like someone, where's dude? We stay together. We came as BBC. I mean, we weren't walking around like a swarm of bees the whole time, but you could tell we're all there at one unique sync time.
Yeah, I made a mention to it was a really neat experience to have your barbecue, end of summer barbecue thing happen so closely to when Miami.
Yeah, that was only 2 weeks apart.
Yeah, and we had guys from our chapter, being that we're a relatively new chapter, with less than a year old now, but we've got some young guys who just in the last 6-8 months,
that's what they walk into.
Jumped into their villain patch, and now we've tried to tell them, it's so much more than, and they started. These are guys that found BV and started their journey in BV during COVID, so they didn't see much.
Right.
And then to turn around this year and be able to go to Miami, and some of these guys that have less than a year in, they went to Miami, they went to DSV, they went,
and that's what they came in on. Lucky bastards.
And to see it, I said, you guys, we would tell them, going into Miami and going into this, just the simple thing of a barbecue, I said, it's different. It's different when you go to Miami, when you go to Chicago, and you need to see it for what it is. And I'm so glad that they did that. I'm so glad that they were able to go to these events, just
No, that
right
is
off the
cool.
cuff.
Like I said, Miami and Puerto Rico, Chicago, where it's like the triangle. It's us, man. But there's similarities and differences with, like you said, those new guys that just joined. So, for example, June 27th, 2015 was the exact day that I started. And I had met Optimus that day, Jay Mendez, Abraham, That's My Style, and Tone on those days. And we called ourselves, you know, kind of like the OG members of Chicago. But that feeling when I walked in that day wasn't that much different than those guys that you're talking about. I came in, I'm like, man, I had never met you before. I've only seen you a few times on IG, and we're hugging, taking pictures, taking shots. Man, you want to hang out? Like, we had known each other for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And like we had all become friends. And now here we are 6 years later, going on 7. Holy crap. Yeah, man.
It goes by quick.
It did. It just hit me. Another thing that just hit me. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, to think about that, I mean, we're in 7 years now, celebrating the 7th year of BV, and most of the oldest chapters are in that 6 year range.
Oh, yeah.
You've been around for so much of it. What can you talk for a second about? And I love getting these responses for guys that have been in as long as you have. Talk for a second about what you've seen. What has changed so much in that time that you just love to see?
I love to see that there's so many friendships made from it. And I know that sounds a little cheesy, but what I mean is, how do I put this? It's chapters that are doing it. Like, we're doing it. The brothers are doing it. It's not about how much fame or notoriety or selling things. If it's going to charity, if it's building friendships, and if it's making bros go to Sox games, or some, you know, visit each other at hospitals. I mean, I've gone to court cases with people. I've picked people, have endless amount of people that stayed on this exact couch. You know what I mean? It's like Florida, Phoenix, Oregon, Washington. I've met people from Sweden. I've been to Italy. Oh, man. I went to Italy and had never met any of these dudes from the Northern Squad. And we happened to be at the exact same block as this bar that I wanted to go to. So all the Northern Squad dudes met me, and I mean, we just drank like crazy. They gave me all this food. Of course, we're in Italy, so I'm eating way more food than my little body can even take. And they're making me just eat. You eat, manja, manja. I'm like, man, I've been eating all day. I've been eating for days. I can't eat anymore. I've been drinking I've had all this wine, and we just drank even more. My point is, we have never met, and they gave me combs, a t-shirt, a backpack, like a billion patches. No, you're not paying for anything. I will pay for all of it. I mean, I've met dudes from, I mean, like I said, just all over Texas, Maryland, everywhere. It's nuts, man. It's just so cool that it's not about social media. I mean, it is at the end, not at the end of the day. It's not like about that at the end of the day. It's the camaraderie, bro. It's the friendships. I mean, IG is fun. And I mean, I'd be lying to you if I didn't think that it was about making followers and likes. But I mean, now it's just like, man, I'm just glad to have pictures with my friends again, man, because I don't want my feed to be just my stupid face the whole time. I want my bros on there, and I want all the things that we're doing. I mean, like my birthday. I mean, some of these dudes came to my birthday this year. I had never met them, and we hung, played bags for hours. Shout out to Joe Sean. We won 6 in a row that day. Me and Toger won a bunch before, man, and I won a bunch on just a couple days ago, man.
But
like I said,
it.
man,
You've seen that change. You've seen that change because
it wasn't
started
like
out
overnight,
as social
man.
media.
I mean, yeah, it was about. I used to buy everyone's patches and everyone's shirts, but after a while, I was like, man, those patches and shirts are cool. But I think what's really cool is just chopping it up with a guy. You know, I can name a billion people, man. I don't even know where to start because I feel like I'm gonna leave someone out. But everyone knows who I've hung with, man, which is a lot since 2015. But it's about like just taking some pictures, drinking, having some food, just chilling. Having the memories, man. I mean, Jeep rides, burgers. We, again, with the bags, I've skateboarded with bros. I've done all kinds of things, man. I mean, before I was in BV, it'd be stupid to say that I was like lost. That's ridiculous. But I definitely, when I joined, I was like, finally, man, like I feel like I have like a home. You don't need to be talkative all the time. You can go, you know what I mean? There's dudes that I barely hear from, but some I hear from all the time. But at the end of the day, we've done charity together. We've done life together. That's another Chicago motto, man, that the Mendez bros have come up with. We do life together. Yeah. Some guys, some go. Another quote that they would say is, we're on a bus, man. We're on a bus that keeps moving. It might stop every once in a while and pick someone up and drop someone off, but I'm still on the bus, and I'm not getting off the bus. I'm driving the bus.
Yeah.
And I'm doing everything on that bus, man. I'm making sure the tires are working, everything's still there, man. Yeah, man, BBC is definitely, in my opinion, the best chapter. Then again, other people might say whatever. But
well, yeah, everybody's going to be a little bit partial to their chapters, but
yes, sir.
It's refreshing to see, man. I love being any chance I get to come up to Chicago to hang out with you guys. I
definitely want to go to your guys' Halloween thing that's coming up, or is that is you, or is that Northern Indiana, or just
that's us? Yeah. October 23rd.
That would be sick. I already Googled that distance. It wasn't far at all.
No, it's a short distance. You can actually
more memories to make. Indiana loves me. Ask anyone at BBC about Evansville, Indiana, man. I am like a legend, I think, in that town now. I can't get into details. Let's just say it was a good time.
I will say, the very first, I do remember this very well. The very first Battle of the Beards in 2018.
That might have been the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is. But I won't go into that story, that part of it. But just the thing of when you guys pulled up, and
that's right, in that
the
van.
Entire chapter basically
and see,
in
that's
this
the
white
epitome of what
van.
I'm talking about. We showed up in the van. None of y'all knew that we were gonna do that either. You guys were probably like, man, none of them are here. No one's here.
Yeah.
And that van wasn't very luxurious, but the point was proven. It was a solidarity moment.
It was totally.
And we came out of that van like a damn clown car.
It was totally a clown car.
No, the music can't be like that. It was more like Thunderstruck by like AC/DC.
Yeah, I would say more like Thunderstruck.
We're all coming out in slow motion.
Yeah.
But we just kept coming. I'd say there was like 11 of us. God, that was a long trip down there.
It was
everyone all in that van like that. It was all hot and people all stinky.
It was so cool, though. It was so cool to see. And for some guys, that was their first glimpse at what BBC is.
Just what you said, exactly.
Yeah. And that's what you try to do as a chapter, is to try and show that solidarity. And when we show up, we show up. We show out.
Show out.
Another one.
But yeah, dude, that is our motto. I mean, we have many a motto, but I would say solidarity, just being in unison and being a family. That's the word, family, is what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun trip, man. That's why I'm giggling like an idiot over here. I'm thinking of a bunch of different things that happened that weekend. Yeah.
It was a fun weekend all the way around, I'm sure. Well, man, I'm just excited because, I know we're fingers crossed, and I'm not going to say it. We're fingers crossed for next year, and that's all I'll
that's
say.
happening. You don't understand. There could be a bomb. It's happening. The BBC 2022. It is a thing. That is definitely happening. There is no maybe.
All right. I'm still just because I know who's in control over there. I know.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, BP.
That's right. What'd you enjoy most about Miami, man?
Saturday night, we showed up at that bar, and it was hotter than Hades in that place. Man, there was a bunch of college kids all over, but Gabe was in there from Miami. Of course, all of Miami was there.
That was the place
that one particular night, man, my voice, I didn't have a voice for at least 3 days after that, man. And we were drinking those High-Alives like they were water. And I remember it was super crowded, dude, but that was super fun, man. That was definitely one of my favorite moments of the trip. Being with Manny, shout out to Manny and Paz, man. We were chilling. We were the three amigos. This is a time where I would make a joke about their body weight, but I'm not going to do it. Neither of them are like that. They're very fit individuals, very handsome.
Well,
being with
compared
Brian
to you,
like everyone, there's so many, all BBC, everyone was there. There's a crap load of us, man. The reason why I mentioned Brian was I gave him a hard time too, so I'm taking this moment to apologize for that kind of wink. Yeah, dude, we rolled deep in that one. I think that just even proves again. I mean, we were almost 20, I think, that came. more gear. Shout out to George, the merch whisperer, bro. He helped get us the sickest gear for that. It kind of stunk that we didn't get to see anyone from Europe and all that jazz, but then again, we saw people from Colombia, Puerto Rico, I mean, other places throughout North America, Canada. Matty J was there. I got to see Gibber. Baby Glock, Phil was there. Shep was there. You know, I mean, all the BVC, man. It was a fun trip, man.
You mentioned, I just don't mean to cut you off, but you mentioned him briefly there. What kind of a huge and awesome advantage is it to have your merch whisperer on hand?
The biggest advantage, because I mean, if you even say like, "Oh man, it'd be cool if," and then insert something cool that you're thinking,
yeah,
he'll probably whip that up. Man, I think it would be cool if earlier I had the BVC shirt with the White Sox logo in the beer. I mean, I don't know if it was me, but someone was like, "Man, it'd be cool if we made these." Boom, they're there. What if we made Bears colors? Boom. What if we had, new hats that did this, but the thing was on the side? Boom. Yeah, that guy's a super huge advantage. That guy does a lot, man. Shout out to him. He's always busy.
Yeah, it's your chapter always has some really interesting, unique merch, and it seems to just like a little gremlin thing from the 80s. It just kind of multiplies. You just some idea spurns onto something else and something else. And
right.
The rest
you gotta
of us
buy that stuff, man. Luckily,
and the rest of us struggle just to put out like one thing a year.
Yeah, he'll give us like access to it, and I mean, I'll go and check merch for my own chapter, and I'll go to check, and it's gone before I can even get to it. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man! Like, we only have so many people like in this chapter. How is it sold out already? Wow. we gotta start making more of those already. But yeah, that barbecue was fun. Miami was fun, man. I'm trying to think of other. I'm glad I got to do the Heart of a Villain, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you know, not to put you on the spot about something you don't know about, or maybe it's not really been talked much about. Are you, one of my favorite events usually every year is the coat drive that you guys end up doing. Is that still on for this year?
That is a hell yes. That's an annual thing.
Good.
That's usually right when we have a big old party with it later that night. But yeah, that coat drive is huge. You guys always come through for that every year, I think, since the beginning.
Yeah.
Some Indiana guys that aren't around anymore, but shout out to them too. They were still there when you did it.
Yeah.
The original ones. But yeah, sometimes, I mean, there were a few years, I think definitely one year we had too many coats, and then we didn't even know what to do. We had to start driving around Chicago and sporadically leaving them at spots, man. We had to even get a storage unit. Yeah, we didn't have enough room for all these coats. It was out of control, man, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you should wrap it up with the song. Play the song.
Yeah. I'm gonna play the song again. The Heart of a Villain by Mr. Jelly. Such a really cool representation of what I was hoping for this here show.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we win.
Bass sound.
The heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phones, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption.
This is my favorite part.
Part of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action.
Yeah, yes, you gave me the lines, man. You gave me the words.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. And it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. And it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. And it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we win. And it's the heart, it's the heart.
Yeah.
Space sounds,
yeah. So good, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you again so much for that, and I look forward to being able to share that. I'm really excited to see the different reactions that we get from some people. It has that earworm or the earbug thing in it where it's just it sticks in your head. So
yeah, that's gonna be in your head for a while probably. It was in my head for a while too.
I love it. Well, Jelly, thanks so much again, man, and stay tuned. And big things coming with the song and everything else.
Oh yeah,
I'm
man.
excited.
BBC, Shiversity, Few Over Many, BBC for life, man. For real. BBC World Meet 2022. Space
We'll be
Sound,
there.
Space Sound, Space Sound, Space Sound, Space Sound.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, man.
All right. Yes. Such a great conversation with Jelly. And man, I just can't, there's just something about that song. It's got that groove. It's got that feel, man. And I know I laugh. Of course, Daniel has to say, song is dope, but Jelly sucks. I love that. Yeah. So hopefully that's a song that'll stick in your guys' ears, and it'll be something that you just find yourself singing when you're walking around the house or walking down the street. That'd be fun. And I'm excited about that. So let's take a brief pause here. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Okay, yes. So guys, this is the time when we do our calendar of events. Hopefully nobody is going to jack themselves out and take off on me. I don't know why I said it that way. Sometimes your mind says don't say it, and you say it anyway. But anyway, don't forget, these guys go on sale on Tuesday, on the 7th, at noon Central Time. $15. It comes with a numbered card. It's going to be awesome. Really help out the podcast for equipment upgrades and getting a few extra things that I need to set myself up for the documentary film. So I'm looking forward to that as we slide along, guys. All right. Let's kick into our calendar of events, guys. Stay with me now. Stay with me, because I'm going to give you some information that will prove to be vital coming up if you are interested in getting in on any of the raffle giveaways for next week for episode 100. So don't leave yet. September 10th through the 12th, that's next weekend, the Four Corners Meet takes place. It's hosted by the Bearded Villains in Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah in Cortez, Colorado. Remember, this is the event that is for brothers only. Brothers only. Don't try to sneak in somebody else. Brothers only. Then September 24th to the 26th is the East Coast Meet. We get to see everybody that we hung out with at one of these other major meets. Again, hopefully people will be coming back. Hopefully they've cleared their schedules. I look forward to seeing a bunch of more people at another big meet, the East Coast Meet, September 24th to the 26th. September 24th to the 26th, hosted by our Bearded Villain brothers in West Virginia. It's in Parkersburg, West Virginia. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Last East Coast meet I went to was pretty damn fun. So I'm looking forward to this. East Coast meet, September 24th to the 26th. Then we get into October 8th and 9th. October 8th and 9th, the Bearded Villains Missouri Valley Beard Competition takes place, benefiting Friends of Kids with Cancer. Friends of Kids with Cancer. Friday, there's a meet and greet, silent auction, 50-50 raffle, beard comp Saturday, all sorts of good stuff. That is the 8th and 9th of October, Bearded Villains Missouri Valley, the beard competition. Then October 15th and 16th, I still don't have much information on this because I guess the Florida guys want to keep it all quiet for themselves. Florida Summit. I have it as Pensacola Beach. I'm not sure if that's exactly where it's at, but I'm sure it's somewhere in Florida. I've been told that it is October 15th and 16th, though. The Florida Summit, October 15th and 16th for the Florida Summit. Then we get into my event. Yes, I'll take a few extra minutes for this one. Not minutes, but I don't want to drag it out any longer than it has to be. But October 23rd, here in northern Indiana. We're making a weekend of it, but we don't have those other plans laid out yet for sure. But October 23rd, Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc. That's right. It's hosted by the Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana. Benefits Ronald McDonald Houses of Northern Indiana. There's a beard competition. There's costume contest, other fun surprises, auction stuff going on. It's going to be a blast of a weekend. Ezra Crow's Halloween Havoc, hosted by the Northern Indiana Bearded Villains. It's in Valparaiso, Indiana. Very easy to get to no matter where you're coming from. Valparaiso, Indiana, October 23rd. Then if you're still in the mood, the day before Halloween for some more Halloween fun, Downtown Halloween Bash. Downtown Halloween Bash is where you want to be. It's hosted by the Rocket City Bearded Villains. That's right, our boys down south. Rocket City Bearded Villains. They got a whole mess of stuff going on that weekend. It's the Downtown Halloween Bash. Hit up the Rocket City Bearded Villains for further information on that. They got some good stuff going. I know they got a beard competition. They also have a costume contest. All sorts of stuff. So hit them up for the Downtown Halloween Bash. That's October 30th. Then we get into November. November 5th through the 7th. November 5th through the 7th is the Slugger City Bash. Slugger City's back doing some stuff, and they're doing the bash. The Slugger City Bash. It is November 5th through the 7th. There's going to be a beard competition. I'm not sure what else right now, but I know it's in Louisville, Kentucky. That should be all you need to know. Very easy to get to, no matter where you're from. Slugger City Bash. Let's help our guys out down there, the Slugger City chapter, as they host us for the Slugger City Bash, November 5th through the 7th. Then the weekend of November 12th through the 14th. You got two choices, sounds like. There may be others, but as far as I know, there's two. There's two choices. November 12th through the 14th in Southern Indiana, hosted by the Southern Indiana Bearded Villains, is Battle of the Beards 2021. Battle of the Beards 2021 is always an amazing weekend. They always raise a ton of money for local veterans charity. Battle of the Beards 2021, hosted by the Bearded Villains, Southern Indiana. That is November 12th through the 14th. I will be at that one, and if you are there, hey, the 13th is my birthday, so buy me a drink. As you've heard me say many times, I ain't too proud to beg. November 12th to the 14th for Battle of the Beards. Then if you're over in Virginia instead of Southern Indiana, November 13th is Beards Away. Beards Away, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains. It's their 6th anniversary beard competition at Bunker Brew Pub. Good times, good times. They had an amazing turnout last time at that. November 13th, Beards Away, hosted by the Virginia Bearded Villains. Then the final event that we've got on the calendar for November is the Cajun Beard Bash. Now, we need to send all the T's and P's that we can down there. That's thoughts and prayers. That they're going to be ready and just willing to accept all the extra fun stuff that we can give them down there as they finish cleaning up from the hurricanes. But November 26th to the 28th, the Cajun Beard Bash is hosted by the Louisiana Bearded Villains. It is Louisiana's largest beard competition. Louisiana's largest beard competition. There's going to be vendors, prizes, food, music, all that good stuff. That's the Cajun Beard Bash, November 26th through the 28th. And then also the first weekend in December, I believe it's the 3rd through the 5th, December 3rd through the 5th, our brothers in Central England are going to have themselves a time. Birmingham is going to be a time. Get over there, check them out. I'm doing everything I can to figure out a way to get over there. So don't judge if one day soon you see a little GoFundMe page set up for old BP to try and get over to England. That's what that's for. I may be doing a GoFundMe page so I can get my happy ass over there to England to visit our brothers out there. Not just for me, but also give me a chance to interview some of them for the documentary film. So if you see that out there, don't judge. I know there are much more important GoFundMe pages out there than just one to send BP over to England. But if you see it out there, be nice and don't judge. You don't have to donate, but just don't judge. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our calendar of events. Hey, our music ran out, so I had to. All right, so real quick, I'm going to throw some music on as I describe to you. Those of you who are still here, I love it. Thank you so much for staying around. So here's what's going to happen. Over the course of the next week, I'm going to be sharing with you on Instagram, on Facebook, some of the items that generous people have stepped up, companies, brothers, whatever, have stepped up and said that we want to be a part of your 100th episode and we want to donate something. So I've got a list of people who want to donate items for various raffles and prizes that we're going to be doing during the actual show. There's going to be an Only Unicorn shirt. Instead of Only Fans, they've made an Only Unicorn shirt. Slap Happy helped me out with that one. That's awesome. Our Bearded Villains brothers in Lakeshore, they're going to be donating a package that includes 2 patches, some stickers. That's awesome. We're going to have some stuff from Brad with Reconnect for Autism. We're going to have 2 different sets from Nick of Skelly Blend beard oil butter with some with a beard wash bar. Very cool stuff there. Our brother Live More Life is going to put together a patch package for us. Shiversity Brand, I believe he says he's going to come on board and have a package also for us of some sort. Our brother over in London, Andy, is going to be donating a London patch that you don't see over here in the U.S. too often. I've got several others that have reached out, and we're working out trying to figure out what we can do, but it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a great episode next week. We're going to have a lot of fun. Just about every 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to do another giveaway. So, man, stay tuned, guys. I really look forward to having you guys with me. Spread the word. I would love to get 50 people here live on the live stream for us for episode 100 to have a real, true celebration of not just the podcast, but of what the podcast stands for, of the brothers in this brotherhood and the works that they're doing. That's what this thing is about. It's about talking about all the amazing things. So keep your eyes out for that stuff over the course of the next week. I'm going to be promoting the different various people who have stepped up and said they want to be a part of this. Also, I may reach out to some of you to help me spur this on a little bit too. If you're still here, if this podcast, either the audio form or the video form, if this podcast has touched you in any way, in a positive way preferably, if this podcast has made a change in your life, has made you happier, has inspired you, if the words from somebody that has come from this, that we've talked to on this podcast, has inspired you, has pushed you, given you more drive, if there's something about this podcast and the guests that I've spoken with that have changed you in some way, shape, or form for the better, I would love for you to record and send me a 10 or 15 second little clip, 30 second, whatever it is, just explaining what this has been about for you. If you're a loyal listener or if you're a first-time listener, if you've only listened to 2 or 3 episodes, or if you've listened to all 99 episodes, I'm just curious. I want to see, and I want to share it with everybody else. I want to put together a synopsis of all this stuff. So if you've been affected in a positive way in some way, shape, or form from this podcast or the live stream, please reach out. Show me a little video. I'm going to put them all together for episode 100, and we're going to share the love, man. So I look forward to seeing all that. I look forward to seeing you guys back here for episode 100. Yes. You know what that means? Maybe for the last time, you may be hearing this song on this podcast for a long, long time. Not sure if it's going to end every episode still with this, or if I'll just keep the new theme song. But guys, you know what it is? It's going to wrap up. I can't believe I'm saying it. It's going to wrap up episode 99 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, all the good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. That's also where you can listen to all previous 99 episodes of the podcast after today. All the good stuff there. Guys, I want to challenge you, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Jay said it first, and we just live it. Guys, the most important words I say every single week we're here, please remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, guys, have an incredible weekend. Have a great rest of your night. Have an incredible week as we move forward. I will see you back here for episode 100 next Friday night. Take care. Stay safe, guys.
Stateside across ponds, no borders. I am my brothers, keep your facial features covered. Stay feeling
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling.
Oh, yeah. Gotta finish it off with this one.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge.
Anybody that's still here,
100 interviews, all it takes is 2 mics.
if you're still here and you got a drink in your hand, cheers to 99 episodes. Look forward to seeing you back for episode 100.
Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it and that another could. Never underestimate the power of brotherhood. Every bro, every chapter, every caption. Heart of a villain, bro. Lights, camera, action, 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 action. Let's go. BP. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard and we winning. It's the heart of a villain, it's the heart.